George Soros is one of the most powerful, polarizing, and mysterious figures in the modern world. A billionaire investor and global philanthropist, he's also been accused of toppling governments, crashing economies, and manipulating democracy. From his secretive early life to his global influence machine, here are the 10 most shocking, scandalous, and untold truths about Soros, some confirmed, others shrouded in controversy. Number 1. The teenage survivor who watched Jews lose everything. Born Georgi Schwartz in Budapest on August 12, 1930, Soros came of age during the Holocaust. In 1944, when the Nazis occupied Hungary, Soros's father Tivadar obtained false identity papers for the family. To avoid deportation, George was sent to live with a Hungarian official who worked with the fascist regime confiscating Jewish property. Decades later, in a 1998 60 Minutes interview, Soros admitted to accompanying the official during property seizures. When asked if he felt guilt, he replied, "No. It created no problem at all." That chilling line has followed him ever since, fueling accusations of collaboration. Some call this a smear campaign against a frightened 14-year-old boy, others say it reveals a deeply troubling lack of remorse. Jewish groups have defended him, noting that survival under Nazi rule required morally ambiguous choices. Still, the idea of a Jewish teenager watching the wealth of his community being stripped away and remaining emotionally detached raises haunting ethical questions. Survivor or silent witness? What do you think? Number 2. From beach vendor to billionaire, the cold-blooded rise of Soros. After World War II, Soros fled Soviet-dominated Hungary in 1947. He arrived in London with little more than train fare and enrolled at the London School of Economics, studying under philosopher Karl Popper, who deeply influenced his worldview. To survive, Soros sold plastic trinkets at seaside resorts and worked as a railway porter. But he never gave up his dream of power and influence. He tried to break into academia but failed, later calling this rejection his life's turning point. In 1956, he moved to New York and worked at FM Mayer, then Wertheim and Company, before launching the Quantum Fund in 1973 with just $12 million. By the 1980s, his fund returned 30 to 40% annually. Soros wasn't just a trader, he was a predator. He studied market psychology, manipulated momentum, and saw finance not as commerce, but as a battlefield. His rise was not about chance, it was meticulous, cerebral, and ruthless. Was this brilliance or something colder, more calculated? Number 3. The man who broke the Bank of England. In September 1992, Soros made one of the boldest financial moves in history. Believing the British pound was overvalued, he shorted $10 billion through his quantum fund. Despite government efforts to defend the currency within the European Exchange Rate Mechanism (ERM), Soros kept up the pressure. On Black Wednesday, September 16, 1992, the UK was forced to withdraw from the ERM. Interest rates spiked to 15%, reserves were drained, and Soros earned over $1 billion in profit. British taxpayers lost more than £3.3 billion, and Finance Minister Norman Lamont later described it as one of the darkest moments in modern economic history. Soros remained defiant, "I'm playing by the rules that exist." Critics called him an economic terrorist, admirers saw financial genius. Should one man have the power to bring down a nation's currency? Number 4. A philosopher god with a messiah complex. Soros has written extensively about his psychological worldview, blending market theory with moral ambition. In his own words, "I fancied myself as some kind of god, as if I were the creator of everything." This isn't a joke. In his diaries from the 1950s, he openly contemplated what it meant to have divine insight into human systems. His theory of reflexivity, that market players change outcomes by believing in them, gave him an edge few possessed. He wasn't merely trying to beat the market. He wanted to reshape it, to inject philosophy into finance. Yet that blend of idealism and arrogance is what unsettles many. Even some allies have warned that Soros's confidence borders on delusion. But to him, the market is merely a reflection of human folly, and he sees himself as its mirror. Number 5. Engineering revolutions? His hand in color uprisings. Through his open society foundations, Soros has spent over $32 billion supporting pro-democracy groups. But his fingerprints are on multiple revolutions. In Serbia, 2000, his funding helped opposition activists oust Slobodan Milosevic. In Georgia's Rose Revolution, 2003, his foundation paid salaries, printing presses, and logistics for NGOs. In Ukraine, 2004 and 2014, he bankrolled media watchdogs and election observers. In leaked U.S. diplomatic cables, American ambassadors openly acknowledged Soros's influence. In Macedonia, Pakistan, and Kyrgyzstan, Soros-linked groups were accused of orchestrating mass protests and electoral upheaval. He insists he promotes human rights. But to critics, he's a regime change specialist wearing a humanitarian mask. The question remains, if revolutions are funded by billionaires, are they still democratic? Number 6. The man behind prosecutors, policies, and protests in America. In recent years, Soros turned his attention to U.S. politics, spending over $40 million to help elect at least 75 progressive prosecutors across major American cities. These DAs, like Kim Foxx in Chicago and George Gaskin in L.A., pushed bail reform and lighter sentencing, sparking accusations that Soros was reshaping the justice system from within. Conservatives claim he's enabling chaos and buying influence. In 2018, he also donated to Black Lives Matter affiliated groups, intensifying criticism. Soros counters, "I support democracy. They fear it." His influence made him a lightning rod not just for political attacks, but for bizarre conspiracy theories. Far-right outlets have branded him everything from a Rothschild agent to a Freemason overlord, even accusing him of being an alien lizard. One viral post in 2020 claimed he funded Antifa bus invasions across the US, while others blamed him for the migrant crisis. Though repeatedly debunked, these rumors show how deeply his name fuels political paranoia. Number 7. Hungary turns on its native son. In 2018, Viktor Orban's government launched the Stop Soros Law, which restricted foreign NGOs from assisting migrants. Soros was accused of planning to settle 1 million Muslim immigrants in Europe, an unproven claim that triggered massive protests and EU investigations. Hungary expelled Central European University, the school Soros founded, forcing it to relocate to Vienna. Orban called the school a Trojan horse of globalist propaganda. This political exile turned Soros into a symbol either of European liberalism or foreign meddling. Number 8. A family of influence, the rise of Alexander Soros. Soros has 5 children from 2 marriages, but it's Alexander Soros, his son with second wife Susan Weber, who's taken center stage. In 2023, George named Alexander as chairman of Open Society Foundations, handing him control over $25 billion in assets. Alexander has embraced his role, meeting with Joe Biden, Justin Trudeau, and foreign leaders from Latin America to the Balkans. He's more aggressive, more media-savvy, and openly speaks of redefining liberal democracy for a globalized world. Meanwhile, whispers of sibling rivalries and tensions over inheritance have emerged. Some Soros children allegedly oppose their father's relentless political involvement. Number 9. Clinton connections and backdoor influence. Soros's alliance with the Clintons goes back to the 1990s. He contributed millions to Bill Clinton's campaigns and later to the Clinton Foundation. In 2011, emails revealed he directly advised Hillary Clinton on policy in Albania, urging intervention in a judicial dispute, advice she followed. This access raised questions: should private donors guide U.S. foreign policy? While not illegal, it undermined public trust. He also funded Media Matters, a liberal watchdog that defended the Clintons and attacked critics. In the 2016 election alone, Soros spent $25 million to defeat Trump and support Hillary. These backdoor channels reveal how tightly politics and private wealth are intertwined. Number 10. Billions given away, but at what cost? Soros has donated over $32 billion to causes ranging from education in Africa to marijuana legalization in the US. His defenders say he's proof that capitalism and compassion can coexist. Yet his giving isn't neutral. He funds policy, courts, and media, pushing his worldview where voters may not. In 2018, Open Society moved its headquarters from New York to Berlin. Many saw it as a retreat from mounting US scrutiny. Soros says, "I'm not trying to be liked. I'm trying to do what's right." But what's right when you can fund both the argument and the outcome?